from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Andrew Swanson.
And I'm Dawson Iasillo. Tonight, we'll look at UNL's dance marathon and the unsportsmanlike conduct that got students banned from Pinnacle Bank Arena. But first, a troubling development for the American Armed Forces in their conflict against Iran. That's
our top story tonight.
Today, Russia gave information to Iranian forces in efforts to take down several U.S. military bases. Russian intelligence foreclosed information about the locations and movements of American troops to side with Tehran in the fight. Iran has attacked several other U.S. military bases, killing 6 American military members. One base includes the Kurdish base. As tensions continue to rise, Tehran has stated they are prepared and ready for U.S. invasion.
A house fire claimed 2 lives in South Lincoln just a couple hours before sunrise this morning.
Nebraska Nightly's Rachel Miller joins us in the studio with the story.
Lincoln Fire and Rescue has found 2 dead following a house fire in South Lincoln early this morning. The fire burned heavily in the basement of the house at South 11th and Van Dorn Streets. While the cause of the fire is still unknown, officials noted a wood-burning stove in the basement and gas line issues in the home. Van Dorn Street between 10th and 11th Streets remain closed while the investigation continues. This is a developing story.
Now, severe weather is brewing all across the state as Nebraskans brace for rain and heavy winds.
We now go to Nebraska Nightly's Owen Snodgrass with the weather.
Hello, my name is Owen Snodgrass. If you were paying attention last night, you might have heard some thunder in the area. That's because we had some thunder showers roll through that dropped some rain across the area. Down here southeast of Lincoln had about 1 inch of rain, and up toward Norfolk, that yellow speck there, 1.5 inches of rain. Some much needed rain for the area where we got some persisting drought conditions. Not too bad down here by Lincoln, and we're going to see some more rain down here, but the rest of the state still struggling with some of those dry conditions that we carried over from February. Look at the current conditions right now. 44 degrees here in Lincoln, chance of thunderstorms, a stark difference from what we saw earlier today where it was 72 degrees at noon. So some cold front rolled through and it's really chilling down the temperatures here in Lincoln. We look at the temperatures tonight, that will continue to fall at 31 degrees. Rain will linger around in the early evening hours before slowly fizzling out. We look at the temperatures tomorrow, high of 54 degrees and sunny for a pleasant Saturday. That's all for the weather now. I'll have more for you later, but back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up next,
we'll see the aftermath of another Lincoln fire.
And an update on the Epstein files.
Stick with us.
Social media is a daily part of many college students' lives, something we've become used to, but it can also be overwhelming and draining. Studies show that taking regular breaks from social media reduces stress and improves mental health. Too much screen time has been proven to increase anxiety, while stepping away helps you reconnect with the world around you. Take a break. Protect your mental health.
Did we say 2 minutes?
The need for blood never stops. And at the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, your blood could help save lives. Right now, only 7% of the population donates blood. But imagine if there were more.
We're sitting at below a 7-day level of supply of all blood types across the board. So every blood type is important, and we need all donors of all types to come in and donate right now.
At the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, they believe that all types make a strong blood supply.
Snodgrass, we take a look outside right now. It's pretty cloudy out there, but nothing currently going on Still keep an eye out as we are expecting some thunderstorms in the area to develop around and over Lincoln. So just keep an eye on. You see that 44 degrees once again is the temperature in Lincoln, dropping from what we saw earlier today. So something to keep an eye on there. We look at the statewide temperatures. Cold pretty much across the board from what we've been seeing so far this month. 30s across the northern tier of the state, and Lincoln and Omaha holding on to the mid 40-degree temperature. As we look, this is all due to a cold front that's pushing through from northwest Nebraska down through here. We got a tornado watch across the area, including Lincoln. Something to keep an eye on as you go through the evening, as tornadoes are possible. It doesn't mean there is a tornado occurring, but the conditions are favorable for one. So we look at the Storm Prediction Center, a 3 out of 5 down here for the southeastern portion of the state, and a little bit up toward Norfolk and Grand Island. And this is all due to, well, partly the tornado risk. We got a 10% tornado risk down here, and that risk includes the risk for EF2 plus tornadoes, but it's only a 10% risk. It's not too high, but something to keep an eye on if you're in that region. Look, hail is the big threat here today. We've got a 30% risk for hail, especially near that Lincoln-Omaha area, and the risk to see over golf ball size hail. The wind risk is also present, 15%, but still not the biggest threat here today. Take a look at our safety guidelines when it comes to severe weather. When it comes to these showers, there's going to be some heavy rain, so slow down while driving and turn around, don't drown if you see a puddle. Now, with lightning, if you hear the thunder, take shelter, move to shelter, or go to low ground if there is no shelter near you. Additionally, as we got the tornado watch in place today, if you are under a tornado warning, get inside, get to the lowest floor, get to the interior part of your house and get some cover over you. Get some blankets, some pillows, helmet, whatever you may need to stay safe. That's all for the weather right now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Owen. Smoke and flames broke the silence of the early morning hours last week as a railroad bridge in downtown Lincoln caught fire. The bridge over Salt Creek, owned by Union Pacific, was considered a total loss, but the railroad made swift reparations to the structure. Union Pacific announced Tuesday the bridge is reopened to train traffic, just over a week after the fire. MJ Learman from Lincoln Fire and Rescue says an unattended campfire near the bridge is the cause.
That were housed under there and had been using it for warmth. You know, it was a cold night. It just got away.
Union Pacific estimates the damages will cost $7 million. Both UP and competitor BNSF Railway use the bridge to transport freight. The Lincoln Police Department reports the investigation of how the fire spread is ongoing. No arrests have been made.
Nebraska is known for its unpredictable weather. One minute, people are sunbathing, the next, they're preparing for a snowstorm. But despite warmer afternoons, overnight temperatures in Lincoln are still harming those without shelter. Nebraska Nightly's Zoe Salem reports local nonprofits are working to keep people warm and safe after the sun goes down.
As temperatures drop, People's City Mission sees a 50% hike in people seeking shelter.
It's been several years since we had less than 250 people checked in here at any given time. So, right now in the 400s like we are, we're well above what we were billed for.
Centerpoint works with People's City Mission to provide mental health services and basic necessities. They receive calls through the Alternate Response Program, calls that would have once gone to the police department.
Police officers don't have trunks full of cold weather gear, or basic needs items, and the outreach team does.
Ridley says the program helps decriminalize people experiencing homelessness.
This way, we're actually getting people the help that they need, rather than punishing someone for just being homeless.
Davis says People's City Mission is constructing a building to receive an increasing number of women and children who need a safe place to stay.
It would free up a lot of the space in our existing building so that we can expand our transitional housing program and our men's shelter as well.
But People's City Mission does more than provide shelter. They give their residents hope. Diane and Katrina Carnes Vasquez appreciate the Lincoln community for helping people in need.
We actually moved from far away, and we found a lot of good resources here. And what's good about it for us is that, there's hope and there's somewhere safe to be.
Ripley says it's important to treat people who are struggling with respect and compassion. Zoe Salem, Nebraska Nightly.
To volunteer at People's City Mission or make donations, visit their website at pcmlincoln.org. To learn about Centerpoint's street outreach team, visit their website at centerpoint.org.
The Department of Justice posted online 3 FBI interviews related to possible sexual assault involving President Donald Trump. They had previously been missing from release of Jeffrey Epstein files. A CNN analysis previously revealed the witness interviews had been missing from an archive of evidence relating to the Epstein probe. The records involve a woman who told agents she was sexually abused by Epstein and Trump, starting when she was 13 years old. Trump has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing in connection with Epstein. It's unclear why the witness allegations against the president were not released. Last week, the DOJ said it began a review to see if any documents were improperly tagged in the review process. The agency said if that happened, it would then release them. Under the current law, the DOJ is allowed to withhold files that were either duplicates, privileged, or part of an ongoing federal investigation. On Wednesday, the agency republished pictures to the Epstein Files library.
Coming up next,
a look at the incident that got 2 students banned from the Pinnacle Bank Arena.
After this. Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. For the first time in 25 years, the Nebraska Husker cheer team traveled to Orlando, Florida to compete at Nationals. Competing in the game day division, small co-ed Nebraska Nightly's Dalen Muse reports the team had the opportunity to perform alongside some of the top collegiate cheer programs in the country.
Unsportsmanlike behavior from fans at a recent Husker men's basketball game at Pinnacle Bank Arena is raising concerns about sportsmanship in the stands. 2 fans were removed from the game on February 10th against Purdue after shouting inappropriate comments toward players and officials, and one of them threw an object, hitting the Purdue bench. One student received a 1-year ban. The other was permanently banned from any Husker athletics events. University officials say maintaining a respectful and safe environment at games remains a priority for fans and players. Coming up next,
sports reporter Jared Chada takes us through the updates in the world of Husker sports.
Stick with us.
Social media is a daily part of many college students' lives, something we've become used to, but it can also be overwhelming and draining. Studies show that taking regular breaks from social media reduces stress and improves mental health. Too much screen time has been proven to increase anxiety, while stepping away helps you reconnect with the world around you. Take a break. Protect your mental health.
Nearly 1 in 3 Husker students struggle with food insecurity. Husker Pantry addresses food insecurity and a welcoming space by providing free food and personal items to UNL students in need. Due to high demand, the pantry often runs out of essential items. Help keep the pantry stocked by donating the most needed items. From canned food to personal items and cleaning supplies, you can make a difference by donating. Learn how to donate by visiting pantry.unl.edu.
Many of the brands you love don't love animals like you do. Look at the labels of products you use for a bunny logo signifying they don't lab test on animals. Check the label for those who aren't able. Start making the shift by visiting crueltyfreekitty.com today.
Nebraska spring sports are in full swing with softball having their first home campaign this season. The Huskers took on the South Dakota State Jackrabbits at home on Thursday, March 5th. Jordy Fromm gave the Huskers a strong start of the mound and struck out the Jackrabbits' first 3 batters. Moving to the offensive side, Casey Hoffman struck a 2-run shot over the right field wall to give the Huskers a 2-0 lead. Runs from Hannah Kaur, Hannah Kamazin, and Samantha Bland extended the Husker lead to 5. Fromm continued her dominance on the mound where she earned her 8th strikeout in the top of the 3rd. Another deep shot from Ava Kuzak grew the Husker lead to 6, and a Fromm double led to a Bella Bacon run. Bella Bacon also called game, hitting another deep shot over the left field wall to give the Huskers the 8-0 run rule win over the Jackrabbits. Nebraska's spring football season is underway, and transfer quarterback Anthony Calandra is excited to get the new season underway. Calandra came from UNLV and is expected to battle with sophomore TJ Lateef for the starting job. Nebraska basketball looks to continue their impressive season and earn their 26th win on the season. They take on Iowa on Sunday at 4 p.m. The Hawkeyes got the best of the Huskers in their first matchup, but look to get revenge. And now we're going to see what Trey Marler and Bobby Hessling are doing at PBA with NSAA girls state basketball.
Day 3 of the Girls State High School State Championships. And Bobby, Malcolm got the day started for Lincoln area schools.
Yeah, Malcolm took care of business. They beat Fort Calhoun, who upset Lincoln Christian yesterday. Really nice win for Malcolm. Obviously, they are led by Hallie Dolliver. Another nice outing for her. Malcolm a chance to go and win a state championship tomorrow against a really good Milford squad.
And then following that Malcolm and Fort Calhoun game was Lincoln North Star advancing to the state championship in the Class A.
Yeah, Lincoln North Star, a phenomenal season for them. Best season in school history, 4th straight state appearance right here in this arena, and they are finally able to knock off Millard West. Lost in the semifinal back-to-back seasons to the eventual state championship. They took care of business today, running away with it in the second half. They held Millard West to no field goals for 10 minutes in the second half. A dominant effort after what was a pretty close start to the game.
And then Lincoln North Star will face the winner of Kearney and Omaha North. Omaha North leading Kearney 34-28 behind us right now. Then tonight in the Class B division, it's Norris facing off with Gretna East.
Yeah, Norris, a really good season. The #1 overall seed in Class B, taking on Gretna East for the 3rd time this season. We all know the old saying, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. I like Norris tonight over Gretna East. Gretna East does a good job, really good defensively. They get up and down the floor very quickly. Norris a little bit more experienced, and they can really slow the game down and do a really good job protecting the basketball.
And then following that one, it's Pius moving down to Class B this season. Ava Markowski and Lincoln Pius the 10th face off with Bennington.
After years of falling apart in a district final, losing last year in the state quarterfinal, they finally got over the hump, beating Beatrice last night, but they're taking on, in my opinion, the best team in Class B. Bennington has not lost a game this season, even though they're the #2 seed in Class B. Bennington struggled yesterday against Scottsbluff. They're upset. It's going to be a big effort from Pius 10 tonight if they want a chance to win and go to the state championship for the first time since 2021.
Games going on all night at both Pinnacle Bank Arena behind us and the Bob Devaney Sports Center. You can catch all those matchups later tonight on 90.3 KRNU. For Bobby Hessling, I'm Trey Marler. Jared, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thank you guys for that update from PBA. I know that the weather's pretty bad. Has that affected Husker sports at all, Jared?
Yeah, it's the baseball game right now is actually in a rain delay against Michigan State, so they had to stop after about the first inning. So, yeah, they definitely have the weather has definitely been affecting sports around here.
Yeah, I'd imagine quite a few of us have had to sit through a rainy game before. Never a fun experience, so I hope they can get it back up soon.
Yeah, for sure. Coming up next,
we bid farewell to College of Journalism advisor Elisa Smith.
And get a groove on with Huskerthon.
We'll be right back.
To Lisa.
I said that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nebraska Nightly.
On average, every Big Ten student wastes 112 pounds of garbage each year, but there's a fix. Make sure you use an Aussie when you dine in and be a part of the change.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. This past weekend, the UNL Dance Marathon hosted the 2026 Huskerthon. The goal of the event is to spread awareness and provide support for Nebraskan families fighting pediatric illnesses. For One Miracle Family, Dance Marathon has been that rock for 13 years.
Life experiences that kids normally have is kind of stripped away by necessity. But then you come to Dance Marathon and all of a sudden you're the center of attention. They're calling your name. We need a child over here to do this. Come spin this wheel. Come play with us. And it builds a huge amount of confidence. It fills a void of stability where there's not stability in the life of kids who have children, who have siblings with chronic illnesses.
We're just blown away and get done with Dance Marathon and go, wow, we are just so grateful for what students do for our family.
Malcolm's family is just one example of how these students can make a difference fundraising with Dance Marathon.
Don't forget, daylight saving time starts Sunday, so you'll move your clocks ahead by an hour. That shift doesn't have to take a toll on your sleep. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on how to prepare now so you can spring forward without losing any of those Z's.
It's that time of year again. Sunday, March 8th, spring forward an hour starting at 2 a.m.
With Spring Forward specifically, people tend to have a little bit more difficulty acclimating to it.
Michelle Drerup with Cleveland Clinic says data shows this shift in time can lead to a rise in cardiovascular events and accidents. Sleep disruptions can also affect mood due to grogginess, headaches, fatigue, and increased irritability.
We just want to be cautious if you're driving in those early mornings after the time change. Sometimes people may decide like, okay, I'm going to on that Monday morning, I'm not going to schedule anything that takes, a lot more focus or high kind of, attention task.
Drerup says preparing now before the time change is key. Start by gradually adjusting bedtime and wake time. Go to bed 15 to 20 minutes earlier and wake up 15 to 20 minutes sooner. She says it's especially important for children and teens.
So it's not a big hour chunk at one time.
Maximizing light exposure in the morning is also key. Drerup says opening the blinds and going outside to walk will help wake you up. And while it's tempting, she says to avoid midday snoozes and not to compensate with over-caffeination.
Which may help in that moment or for that day, but then potentially puts us at risk for having more difficulty falling asleep that night, depending on timing of when a nap or caffeine use is occurring.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Drerup says springing forward can be especially hard on night owls, people with chronic sleep disorders, and those who have dementia. She says for those groups, it's especially important to prepare early and get light exposure in the morning.
A friendly face to many, Elisa Smith made the tough decision to leave the College of Journalism after 2.5 years as an academic advisor.
Smith announced her departure via email on February 16th. Smith left the college on February 27th.
Smith's decision has impacted other advisors around the college with the absence of her kindness she brought to the community.
It was the first day without her being here, and I was like, oh, go talk to Elisa, because I usually check in with her first thing in the morning, and she's not here.
The departure also affected students as she left at a chaotic time with scheduling classes and getting ready for the next semester.
Students understand that there is a transition period and know that scheduling their classes for next semester will be difficult.
Understanding the process of how to do certain things, especially scheduling classes, as every student has to do that. I think that's the most important thing we can do.
Elisa has been such a great person in UNL's College of Journalism, and we wish her the best with her future endeavors.
Looking ahead, we're sure to have another week of all kinds of weather to look forward to.
Nebraska Nightly's Owen Snodgrass has a look at the 7-day forecast.
That's right, we take a live look outside. Sidewalks are still clear, but thunderstorms are brewing to our south and southwest, so something to keep an eye on as precipitation may enter the area here very soon. As we look ahead at the weather for the next week, temperatures will cool down tomorrow but slowly build up over the weekend as we head into Monday. And then those temperatures will kind of remain around for the rest of the week. And I'm kind of scared to say it, guys, but I think spring might finally be here.
I think you're right. I think those April showers that bring May flowers just came a month early this year.
Yeah, that's just how Nebraska weather is. It can be bad, but then there's also some good in there.
Yeah, for sure. Do we have any update with that rain delay at Husker baseball?
Yeah, we're still under rain delay, but if it's raining throughout the weekend, you know, a great thing to go and do is go inside, watch the Huskers play some basketball against Iowa Sunday at 4 p.m. We'll see if they can end their regular season off on a W.
Yeah, should be a good game. Thanks for tuning in to Nebraska Nightly.
Be sure to follow us on social media at Nebraska Nightly.
Our next live show is next Tuesday, March 10th.
Have a great night.
Nebraska Nightly is a production of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's College of Journalism and Mass Communications.